been a while. So is it live? Oh, it's been a while. How's it going? Right, okay, cool. Yeah, we're here. So yeah. This is where I'll be talking about where it all started. Right, bear with me. I have to edit this in post. Right, okay. Finally. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? So yeah, this is where I'll be talking about where it all started. The first symptoms, which was back in 2014, a few months after I left school, and yeah, when I started going to uni. So September 2014, I started the foundation year at Swansea Uni, which was amazing. Yeah, it was an amazing time at first. So going to lectures, partying, having fun, having an amazing time. And September and then October is when I started experiencing these really strange, what I called episodes at the time. They were, it essentially was deja vu at first, like really strong deja vu. And then I'd get, the switch would go off in my mind, and then it would be like an just immediate sense of like danger or doom, which sounds crazy, but that's how it was. And yeah, so I eventually started getting a bad smell in my nose. I found triggers at the time were stress. It wouldn't even have to be that stressful, and they just come out of nowhere. So I was having about 20 a day. They weren't that dangerous. They're very uncomfortable, very, very uncomfortable. I'd say that just distracted me for not even distracted. It was just a bit uncomfortable, like to the level where you have an itch that you need to get rid of, kind of that level of uncomfortable. Oh yeah, look at my t-shirt. Yeah, so that continued then till March. Around that time, I started to vomit when I'd have some of these episodes. And then, yeah, March is when I had a full-blown seizure. So that's where I went to move the car. So I was a bit stressed out. I was packing the car to go away on holiday. Turned on the engine. And then my vision started to go at the top, right here a bit. So just like black streaks would come down. I thought that's a bit strange. And then it got bigger and then bigger and bigger. And then my head started twitching to the side like that. Like, uncontrollably, I couldn't do anything about it. So I'm like, right, well, I'm not moving the car. So turned it off, got out, locked it, walked down the driveway, which was a fair bit. 15 meters or something, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, I don't remember the whole journey down. It was spotty. I was barely standing at this point. So I opened the door, was walking in. I don't remember closing the door, but apparently I slammed it hard. So my sister and my at the time girlfriend was there. And yeah, so I remember there being a dress or something hanging on the inside of the door. And I remember just like being mesmerized by it and just trying to like ground myself as well into the situation because I was going out of it. So I managed to crawl myself upstairs. At this point, yeah, my sister and so were trying to get me to just stop and speak, but I was out of it. All I just knew is I need to lay down. I thought bed. Okay, great. So I made my way to my bed, crawled in, and that's when I started to convulse quite heavily. So yeah, my arms went like this and doing contorting and stuff. My head turned to the side and my jaw as well. And yeah, I just did nothing. I could just stop it. It was a one-way trip. I'd have to ride it out. So that was really very painful. Like I couldn't stop it. My jaw was going. Yeah, I was turning to the side so much I thought my neck was going to break. I stopped breathing as well at one point. My sister at this point is incredible. She's on the phone, calling an ambulance because yeah, I was gone. She did an amazing job. Yeah, massive shout out to her. Yeah, so then the convulsing finally stopped. I was in and out of consciousness at this point, so I don't know if I passed out when I was convulsing or what. Luckily, I didn't wet myself. I kept intact down there. It's heavy. Jokes usually help. This is only like the start of it. Yeah, so I stopped, dropped, and flopped. Yep. Remember waking up to paramedics in the room. Immediately thought, oh my god, they got their shoes on the nice carpet upstairs. But they were great. They were really cool. They helped me into the back of an ambulance, which is cool, despite the circumstances. Took me to hospital. Spoke to a nurse, who was great. Again, mum was working at the hospital at the time, so she swung on by to the emergency department. So with her, I spoke to the nurse, and yeah, she was great. I felt bad for her, having to deal with that, out of nowhere. Yeah, so they referred me to the First Fit clinic in the hospital. So that's where I spoke to a neurologist who was like, not genius, but a genius. He's crazy. He's so cool. So yeah, very lucky to have him as well. We went in depth into medical history, really, the whole thing. Told him in depth about symptoms I've been having, what I was doing at the time, so student, health background, all of that good stuff. So then he referred me to an MRI. Or he referred me to have an MRI scan. That was shortly after that. I wasn't put on any medication at the time, by the way. So I thought nothing of it. I just thought, I generally thought all of this was stress. And when I was having the deja vu thing, the deja vu symptoms, I immediately, I was in denial. But I was hoping maybe it's the superpowers. Maybe I could control it. Yeah, it's just young and silly. Anyway, had the MRI scan, which are pretty cool. Very lucky to have that. Like this is all like on the NHS. This is all wow. Had the MRI scan. Yeah, this is where it really did go downhill, big time. So the neurologist spoke to me on the phone, said that there's a mass or there's a lesion in my brain. So I'm hoping like maybe it's tiny and it's like something could be fine. Don't know what a lesion was. So yeah, I was a bit unfortunate. I'd have that over the phone, and then the letter came then, which I still have now. On the 27th of July, the letter came then saying about no midline shift, no steroids to be had, but it's a tumor, and that was tough. Yeah, that was really tough. So yeah, I started medication shortly after that. Then was on Keppra. I can't remember the exact dosage. Stopped the seizures straight away. Great, really good. So, well, it stopped the seizures anyway. We'll discuss medication another time. So, yeah, and the epilepsy's only got better. Really, so some hiccups, some speed bumps like along the way, but really good now. Really good now. So I think, as it turns out, the big seizure I had, which I had 3 times, is called a secondary generalized tonic-clonic seizure. Not a very common one, as opposed to like grand mal, which I think are quite common, like is in the common type of seizure. So secondary generalized, secondary maybe because it's not the main one I get, not the most frequent one. Maybe that's what I'm thinking the secondary is, but generalized is where your whole brain is affected. So the neurons, the neurons, I think, in your brain get too excited and they start firing off too quickly, which is why you convulse and things like that. And then the ones that I frequently had, the deja vu, they are complex partial seizures. So I'm not sure what the complex is. I can't remember. But the partial means that only part of my brain was being affected, which is the right temporal lobe, right at the front, which is responsible for memory. Hence the deja vu. Makes sense, right? So yeah, I figured out pretty good at my triggers. Triggers like I'd have to work hard to trigger a seizure. Yeah, but obviously I don't. Tried out lots of different medications. Been on this one now for a couple of years, few years maybe, and it's working great. So lamotrigine or lamtrigine, as someone calls it. You know who. If you know, you know. So yeah, main triggers now anyway. Not really any. If I don't, the main trigger I think across the board is lack of sleep. You gotta have your sleep on point. Otherwise, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be tough otherwise. So yeah, unfortunately, like I can't always get my sleep good. Like not great. Like sometimes I'm not even good. But I do my best with that. So obviously stay hydrated. Stress as well is I think my biggest one. Stress. Luckily I don't really have anything to stress about right now, which is amazing. Before, like towards the start of all of this, junk mail. So emails, like junk emails, they used to trigger me off because it would be so frustrating. It'd be like, so you look at it and then it's like, obviously that's spam. That's a scam kind of thing. That's just proper junk. Like minimum effort, minimum intelligence went into writing that. And that would wind me up so much. And I'd get a complex partial seizure, which is dumb, but whatever. Surprisingly, alcohol never had a problem with alcohol. Yeah, so I mean that's the main triggers I think. Smells really would smell trigger a seizure. Well, now I mean not now, but towards the end of it, at the beginning, sometimes smell. Change in temperature, that would be a big trigger. Well, that was a big trigger. Just like sudden changes, really. The main thing to remember now, this is for everyone, is that I only have seizures when you don't laugh at my jokes. I'll leave it at that. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. That was good. All the best.